All right, thank you. So my Stackathon app is called Territory and Terrain. My ambition was to create something that began to kind of work with manipulated slope to kind of game out the way that kind of you could sculpt or shape territory and to get a little bit more experience with like 3D graphics programs in JavaScript. So I'll just do a really quick tour. So basically the app lets you kind of work with a generic terrain, load up a series of kind of alternate terrains to get started building out. And I'm just going to start with one. Basically, you have the option to begin to like show the analysis of what's happening in the terrain. So each different slope lets you do different things. And what you see at the side, this blue block that's moving, that's basically ships, right? So you can put ships on water. So there's a number of different like keys that you can press to start populating, to start doing different buildings. Let's see. I'll put some forests over there, right? Or forest in the foreground so you can see them. And then also the ability to begin to actually do literal manipulation of these spaces. The app itself is supposed to, like expand to accommodate different players, different users, and to begin to trade and share territories, but also to set goals for crossing a territory by building towns and civilizations. So Settlers of Catan. Now, my motivation as a landscape architect was just like to get a sense of which of my tools translate. This was built using three.js, which is a JavaScript library that has actually a ton of documentation and is very, very popular. Now, the one thing that was really challenging is, and I have not yet worked around this, is the fact that, that three.js basically works around the idea that you have, let me not pop something up. I'll just say that like everything is collected into a scene that a camera is capturing for you that it re-renders. So it has its own storage type. And so when I refactor this and try and think about how it works with React, that's going to be a really fun process to think about state, store, and then scene storage in order to kind of bring these all together. Right now it's very much a front end thing, but it does give you a lot of ability to begin to play around with the terrain that you're building. Now, it's all JavaScript. It's actually a very kind of light front end, so it's basically 4 pages of creating a scene and more or less linking everything together through very traditional listeners. And in that sense, it was like a very nice, native environment to work in. Let me get back. I had actually started working with 3D data in Connect. And Unity. And Connect was fine. I just didn't quite have a handle on some of the information sending protocol because I was working with an audio streaming library. And so that ended up being a little bit of a challenge. I also have never actually worked with Unity before. And so at some point I said, Unity script, which is a JavaScript base, and JavaScript aren't exactly playing well together. Let's see what my other tools are. And so the big challenge was kind of stepping back each day and refactoring. My ambition, of course, is to actually literally refactor this code so that I can begin to have more people in the game, begin to play more variants, and to save out the terrain that you're working on so you can share it with others. And that's it. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of things to do to continue to build this out with a robust back end to go with the front end.